This is going to come out so delicious, and people are going to think you got it from a restaurant, but it's really, really easy. Let's take a look at our ingredients. Naturally, we have the beef broth. Next to that, we have Lea & Perrins for Worcestershire sauce. And also we have a little bit of Merlot, another fine French wine, bay leaves. And by the way, the French wine is optional. You don't have to put it in there, but we like it. We're going to have some fresh butter and garlic powder and olive oil. Then sweet onions. We're using 5 sweet onions today, and we're going to get this one sliced up and ready to go. Well, here we go with the handy chef's knife. Let's go ahead and start slicing this sucker up. We'll take off the ends. I want to say thank you to my producer, Jacqueline, who peeled these onions. And also, I have to give credit for today's recipe. Today's recipe is Jacqueline's recipe, and we're making it with her guidance, and I hope I do this right, and I hope it do it justice. Then I'm going to go ahead and slice that in half, which makes it easier to handle this way rather than try and do it beforehand. I'm going to cut this into 3 slices, okay? And I'm going to do the same with this side over here. 3 even slices, or as even as I can get them. And then we're going to put them in with the rest of the onions. Yay! I'm going to break it up ahead of time, but of course when we go to saute it in the pan, then we'll be able to break it up a little bit more with our utensils. This just gets it a good head start. But trust me, when they start browning and caramelizing, they're going to be great. Oh, you know what? There's one more ingredient we forgot to tell you about. We like it. Again, it's optional. We're going to put a little bit of sugar on top of the onions to help it caramelize just a little bit better and also give it a little sweeter taste. You might want to try that, but just a pinch. So with our pan hot, we're going to go ahead and add a little bit of olive oil. I should say that's almost enough. I got a thumbs up from our producer. And let me put in some butter. You'll notice that the oil and the butter started sizzling right away. And the reason that happens is I always preheat my pots and pans before I do anything. You want to bring the pots and pans up to temperature, and that way you don't have any problems with the oil or any problems with things sticking. It encourages non-stick. You can use it with a non-stick pan, or you can even use it with a cast iron pan. There's your secret. You don't need to buy non-stick. You can go with cast iron. All right, now we're going to add the delicious onions. Ooh, look at that. Yum, 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 yum. First thing you want to do is get the oil and butter all over the onions. So stir it real good to get them coated. Here comes a little bit of help. That's the sugar. We're going to saute these for quite a while, and we'll come back. Here we are at the midway point. You see it's starting to turn. They're almost caramelized. Important fact to remember, stir this often while you're doing it, and be patient. We got the electric stove at a level 4 out of 10. How's that? All right, we're going to let this continue. We'll be back.
Several minutes later.
It's at this stage of caramelization that you want to keep an eye on them, because now they're going to start turning, and you want to make sure that you get the onions that haven't caramelized yet down to the pan bottom. In case you're wondering, this is what caramelized onions look like. Don't skimp on this. Don't try and hurry this up. Don't say, oh, I don't need to get in that, because this is going to release the flavor that you want. This is what's going to make the soup worth eating. All right? I can't emphasize that enough. Make sure you caramelize the onions. And look, we've even got some down here that we can go ahead and scrape off the bottom. So we're going to do a little bit. First thing we're going to add is our beef broth. I always think it's amazing how much these onions cook down. Go ahead and give that a good stir. And now we get our Lea & Perrins. We put in the Worcestershire sauce. Yum, yum. And the French wine for all of you snobs. This is the Merlot. That's a terrible accent, isn't it? Well, I'm having fun. That's what it's all about. And you should have fun too. Remember in the last video, we talked about rubbing your bay leaves. All right, so we're going to put in 2 bay leaves. Actually, we're going to put in 3 because this one's a little one. And so we're going to put these in. Stir them up. Okay. And last but not least, we're going to put in a teaspoon. Well, no, you know what? We're going to salt and pepper it too, but there's a teaspoon of garlic powder. Now, I am truly a snob. I'm going to use the fresh grated. I'm going to use it right. There we go. Fresh cracked pepper. If you have a pepper mill, it is worth it. If you don't have a pepper mill, they're fairly inexpensive. You can find them on, well, I won't say where you can find them. You can find your own. All right, I'm going to use a little, this is the pink Himalayan salt. Again, if you don't have that available to you, you can use kosher salt, you can use sea salt, you can use regular table salt for all that matters. And you're going to taste it and see if it's up to your standards. Remember, as I always say, a recipe is just a suggestion, and how you get to the final destination is mostly up to you. You're in the driver's seat.
Several minutes later,
we have had this simmering for quite some time. Now, we know it's done because it has a wonderful smell throughout the entire house. We're going to take out the bay leaves, and we're going to do the most fun part coming up in just a second. Well, myself and the studio crew are getting very hungry. We're getting cranky. We want to eat. So I'm going to go ahead and ladle some of this soup into the bowls. Look at these lovely bowls. Jacqueline bought these for me, and now we're going to use them today. So like I said, now we have a little bit of fun. We've got our French bread. This is a French baguette, and it's this size, if you can see it. Don't get that big, puffy, gooey, crappy stuff that some grocery stores call French bread. And it's, like this thick, and it's soft and gooey. That's not the kind of bread you want. So now, let's put some Swiss cheese on there. Okay. One little slice. Maybe not a little slice. I do that. Not a little slice. And we go for 3. Jacqueline says 3. Is that enough cheese, Jacqueline? Mm-hmm. Now, we're going to place it in the oven. We're going to broil it for just a few minutes and pull it out. So stick around. Here you can see a little broiler action going, waiting for it to turn a golden brown. And now, all the patience has paid off. As we pull the soup out, we see that it's a nice golden brown on the cheese. Oh, my goodness. I hope our camera person is getting a good shot of that cheese. Look at that. Doesn't that look delicious? Yum, yum, yum. Hey, and I managed to pull it out of the oven without spilling it on myself. That's a major coup. I'm going to put this on a plate. Look at that. I did it, Ma. I did it. And one more time. Yeah, I can do it with my left hand. All right. Let me get this out of here, out of the way. We'll move this over to the center. By the way, don't touch the bowl handles because they're hot. Okay? Now that we've got the soup all plated up and our little bit of bread to go along with it, we're going to let the soup cool down just a little bit because right now it's really super hot. Just took it out of the broiler. But we are definitely going to enjoy this French onion soup. As always, I want to thank you for watching. Please, if you would, subscribe. It helps our channel grow. And if you make this recipe, by all means, leave it in the comments. We'd love to hear your reaction to this recipe.